It's Luke and Naomi.
Welcome to episode 49.
49.
Happy
All right.
episode 40. Happy one away from 50.
That's right.
Honestly, we took the time off so that we're prolonging getting to 50.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Why not? I'll just keep making up excuses. Celebration, equipment stuff, trying to prolong the 50. Yeah, absolute laziness. That wasn't it, though.
No.
It was the other things.
Yeah, absolutely.
and the anniversary, too. So that was a lot of fun. Thanks for coming back.
Yeah, it's going to be kind of weird. It feels like, I don't know, it's been forever.
You got to get your radio legs back under you.
That's right,
Your
yeah.
microphone legs back under you.
Yeah.
Well, we're kind of we got a little bit to cover here. I think that'll get you back into it, and a good review coming up of Short Circuit.
That's right.
We jumped back to the 80s for this one for Short Circuit. Little Steve Guttenberg action. Who Naomi has no idea who the hell Steve Guttenberg is.
No.
Not a Police Academy person.
No, I've never seen those either.
Never seen those either. I don't know if we can do Police Academy. Oh my goodness. We'll see if I'm sure there's all kinds of votes for Police Academy, but just such goofy ridiculousness.
Look, we did Blazing Saddles. I think we could do any movie at this point.
Yeah, we probably could. With the Porky's, I'm not doing. How about that?
Okay.
You've heard enough things, I'm sure.
Yeah,
you know why.
yeah.
Well, maybe we put Police Academy on the list. You get more Steve Guttenberg in your life.
Yeah.
So you know all about him.
Sure.
But the Short Circuit review coming up in just a little bit. That was a lot of fun to watch. Anniversary, third wedding anniversary.
That's right.
I think will be our 9th full year. We both just kind of did the whole wide eye thing. Oh my God, don't let my spouse know that I don't know. But
Yeah, we have no idea. When did we get together again?
yeah, so I believe we're in the midst of completing our 9th year together.
Yes, because we met and we officially started dating at the end of 2014. So that was a long time ago.
Yeah, so I just count, starting the beginning of 2015
Yeah,
on.
makes sense.
So yeah, anyway.
Yeah.
So we had some fun for the anniversary. Obviously, we took a little time off to celebrate. Well, what happened is we went out to dinner one night and then got home from work, and it was actually the anniversary, and it was like maybe a beer.
Yeah.
And that, always inevitably turns into not
a
just
handful.
one.
Yeah,
Bet you can't eat just one.
that's right.
And so it was a fun week anyway. Then we did some Myrtle Beach on Saturday because we're fortunate enough to live just, 2 hours away? Just under 2
Not
hours away?
even, yeah. And I'd never been there, so that was kind of a interesting, unique experience.
It was, and I hadn't been there in 20 years.
Yeah.
And I think I had only been there once or twice before that. But everybody where I grew up would go to Myrtle Beach almost every year. It was like the place.
Yeah.
Almost nobody went to Florida. It was all Myrtle Beach.
Right.
So that's all I ever heard of and all that stuff. And living here, everybody's like, yeah, it's just right over there.
Yeah.
So that was fun.
Yeah, it was definitely an experience.
What was your favorite part of Myrtle Beach?
That is a tough question because I really like the food. I like the aquarium when we went and got to see the jellyfish and sharks up close and stingrays and all that. That was really cool. I loved and hated that sky wheel. That was just some of the most amazing views. But man, the first time that thing started going up, I had to close my eyes. I was terrified.
It's a huge Ferris wheel. I mean, it's not like the biggest Ferris wheel anywhere.
No, but it's like 200 feet.
It's
That's
gotta
a
be.
lot.
Yeah, so, and then you're in an enclosed gondola.
Which helps.
It
So
does
much.
help. It helps. I mean, I'm not worried about I like Ferris wheels, but it's still helping me. So, yeah, take us through the rest of your Ferris wheel experience, your sky wheel.
I don't know. It was scary at first, but once we got moving, I was okay. The best part about this was when we loaded, we were the last ones to get on.
Yeah.
So when we got on, it started moving.
The ride began.
Yes, it wasn't like we were the first ones on where you end up stopping a little bit and then waiting for other people to get on and then stopping a little bit in that whole situation. Thank God, because I probably would have had a heart attack. I had my Fitbit on and we're waiting in line and my heart rate just skyrocketed. I'm like, oh, I am terrified
It was
right
up there.
now. Yeah. I don't remember how high it got. It got up to 150 or something like that, just standing there because I was scared. I don't like tall things going slow. I can do the roller coasters and all of that kind of stuff.
Because you're only up there for a second.
That, and you're moving fast the whole time. You're just standing up there. You're just waiting to fall.
I have this nervous laughter when anytime
just-
Naomi's scared of heights or something like that. I just have to, I don't know how to, because I don't feel it too. So I
Yeah.
just kind of nervously laugh about it.
Yeah.
And-
What else can you do, you know?
And also take pictures.
Yes, took a couple of pictures. The first time we stopped, after we let everybody else get off the Ferris wheel, sky wheel, whatever, it's a Ferris wheel, that was uncomfortable because you still move a little bit when it's stopped.
It
And
didn't.
I don't like that.
Like swing, you mean? Sort of like the swinging
Yes,
motion? I
yes.
don't recall feeling the swinging motion too much, but I'm sure for you
No.
it was more than you wanted, of course.
Exactly. It wasn't bad at all, but that was still too much.
It was still a little
you
much.
know. But yeah, the first cycle through, I had to close my eyes when we started moving because I'm like, oh my gosh, we are still going up. Like, we're so high right now.
If
This
I
is
can get
insane.
the clearance, maybe I'll post one of the pictures of Naomi a little
We'll see.
nervous on
We'll
the Ferris
see.
wheel.
Yeah.
We'll see if we can get the clearance.
Yeah,
We have one down in Carolina Beach where it's open and
Yeah.
it's still like a gondola,
Yeah.
but it's not as high, right? So it's not
No,
as bad.
it's not even close. Yeah, that wasn't bad. And also, I hate to say this because this sounds so horrible, but it is true. Beer muscles. If I
Oh,
had
yeah.
a beer in me before I got on that sky wheel, I would have been fine. I would have been like, oh no, this is a piece of cake. I got this. But I didn't.
Also,
so,
how you do the roller coaster sometimes,
Yeah, the scary ones. Yeah, absolutely.
for sure.
Get a beer. I'm ready to go, guys. I got this. Yeah.
But unfortunately, we did that a little too early in the day for you, huh?
Yeah, that's right. So.
So
But
then,
I did like that. I did, as much as I was terrified. I did like that.
it was really cool. You got a view all the way up and down the beach. You could see, the whole Grand Strand there, all the way up and down, and then all the people and stuff like that.
I was so packed.
All of the sort of little amusements and stuff below in the strip.
Yeah.
And then farther, in both directions, obviously out to the ocean.
All the hotels, the people out there parasailing, and there were sailboats out there. It was really cool.
Yeah, definitely a really cool experience. And then, did the sound just change in my headphones, or am I crazy?
I think it did.
It did. Okay, so
Okay.
something just kicked in or changed, or I kicked something. More technical difficulties, gang. We'll be back next week.
No, we're not ending this. We started. We're going to finish this.
And then after the Sky Wheel, of course, which was really, really cool, we went and had some dinner and then played some mini golf.
Yeah, that
And
was fun.
man, do I miss mini golf.
Yeah. I got a hole-in-one on my first shot.
First shot.
It was beginner's luck because it went real downhill from there.
How many times have you played mini golf before that
Once.
in your life?
Yeah. About, more than 10 years ago.
So, first shot, first hole, first time in a long time.
Yeah.
Nailed it. It
Yeah.
was, it's mini golf. You see the angles. You can, and some of them, the holes are set up to get, if you do it right, to get a hole in one. And I mean, she absolutely, I hadn't touched a putter and however, just
Yeah.
perfect. Just nailed it, hit that sweet spot and right in. It was like, oh God, she's just going to kill me all day long. Thankfully, that didn't happen.
Nah.
Overall, you got another hole in one, right?
I did. I got another one. I ended with 2, I believe.
Yeah. I think that final tally was 3-2
Yeah. For holes in ones.
for holes in ones. We played
Hole in ones?
36 holes of mini golf,
That's right.
which is
A
just
lot.
awesome. I'll take 36 holes of mini golf. 36 holes of real golf.
A little too much for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd have to have a nap in between and, several meals. But 36 holes of mini golf was really, really fun. The course was very cool. It had
It was, yeah.
all of the stuff, had the
The water
waterfalls.
features.
It had the
Yeah.
caves you go inside and come back out. It had little tiki huts that you had to climb upstairs to go to start the hole, and then you get it in the correct hole, and it drops onto the green right into, your hole in one.
There were a lot of stairs,
Yeah, there was a ton.
honestly, for this mini golf course. Like, there was a lot.
There was. My favorite hole in one, and I'm going to do a terrible job of explaining this. Perfect radio right here, absolute perfect broadcasting, but trying to explain a mini golf course. It was tiered, so like the green itself had sort of steps down and little pits on the side, not sand traps, not water traps, just little pits that had their own holes that would drop out onto the bottom green, which is 2 stories down.
Yeah.
But if you hit it right perfectly dead center down the ramp in the middle, your chances to get a hole in one increased, exponentially. So I hit that sweet spot perfectly. That was my first hole in one of the day. My favorite one, too.
I do remember the exact one that you're talking about, because that's the one where my ball fell in one of the little pits, but did not fall in one of the little holes in the pits. It was actually in this spot where I'm like, how are you actually supposed to get over here?
We had to climb onto the course to do that.
Yeah. How are you supposed to get over here and hit this in? This is ridiculous right now.
Over railings and stuff like that. It was great. It was like the second it was not the second of it. Whatever. It was the less than sixth hole of the day. It was very early on.
Yeah, and my steam from my first hole-in-one right at the beginning just completely dropped to nothing. I think it was down to nothing before then, because, again, that was a beginner shot, and it was not going to happen again like that.
You had some good shots all day long, though. Played some holes really well. Surprising, too, because sometimes, with the mini golf, if you don't play, people can just be horrible. So I was happily surprised that you crushed it too. We only
especially because it got really busy. Thank God the world was not waiting on me for this.
Yeah, we were behind several groups that everybody was waiting on. So when it was our turn, I was like, no big deal. I mean, we've all been waiting forever anyway. So whatever, And you only finished a few strokes behind me. I mean, we both played pretty well.
Yeah.
Could join the miniature golf tour.
That's right. What do we get?
That'd be amazing.
Mini checks.
Snow cones.
Oh, that works too.
Mini checks, not like Happy Gilmore, the opposite. You have to
exactly. That's what I was going for.
And not a regular check either.
No, it's got to be mini.
Business card sized.
Yeah.
That would be
mini checks.
That's your check for mini golf.
Yeah.
So Myrtle Beach was really fun, and it's really cool that we were able to do that.
Yeah, I had a great time.
A day as well. So great way to celebrate the anniversary. Loved that. Had a great fish fry while we were there too. Let's see what else. Oh, from last episode, we reviewed Braveheart, and we were talking about the historical accuracies or inaccuracies of Braveheart.
Yeah.
And asked Brian from England to weigh in.
About Wallace.
Yes. About William Wallace.
William Wallace, yes.
Brian obliged, as he always does, which is just awesome. Told us a little bit about the quick inaccuracies of the film. He says Braveheart was actually the name given to Robert the Bruce.
Okay.
They never made it to York like they did in the film when they took over York.
Okay.
William Wallace's wife was called Marion, but they changed her name in the film because of Robin Hood and made Marion. He says he could go on all day. It's also based on a poem, the story of Braveheart and William Wallace and all of that stuff. In school, he says they learned in, I guess what would be their equivalent of elementary school, the first school he called it. They learned of Robert the Bruce because of the spider in the cave. So that story is basically, if at first you don't succeed, try again.
Okay.
And he says that legend has it that while waiting out the winter of 1306, hiding out in a cave where he kind of went because he was dejected after a bad first year of King of Scots, as King of Scots, he was hiding out in this cave. He watched a spider on the cave wall try to spin its web multiple times.
Yeah.
Just time and time again. Every time the spider fell off the wall, it got up and went back up and tried again. So he took inspiration and resolved to continue his campaign against the English, ending in the Scots' victory at Bannockburn. I think I'm saying that correctly.
Interesting.
Yes. And then Brian also sent some really, really cool pictures. Let's see, where they went to the home of the famous author Walter Scott. So he included some really cool pictures from that. But pretty neat that, you watch Braveheart, say, okay, Mel Gibson, all that stuff.
Yeah.
They grew up actually learning a little bit about, Robert the Bruce at least. And
which is awesome, because
cool.
I did not know anything about that I thought Braveheart was just a story.
Just totally made up, right? Yeah. Well, if you don't know, that's what you would think. That's totally, normal, right? Yeah. Pretty cool. Thank you, Brian, so much for indulging us and teaching us a little bit about what y'all learn about when you're growing up, as opposed to us and what would our equivalent be? Maybe Davy Crockett or something like
the British are coming.
There you go. Paul Revere. How about that? How about Brian? Do you know about Paul Revere?
I like how I don't even say a name. I just say a phrase, That's what I learned. I learned phrases.
The British are coming.
Yeah.
How about that? Brian, what's your take on Paul Revere? Is it like that guy's a just right bastard, Screw Paul Revere.
Yeah.
All right. That moves us on to some of our random facts for the week. Your weekly dose of Did You Know? And since we just passed Father's Day, happy Father's Day, Pop. I got some Father's Day random facts for us. So here we go. Our weekly dose of Did You Know? Written as Father's Day, Father apostrophe S, R apostrophe S. It was supposed to be the other way around with the apostrophe after the S.
Okay.
But Congress put the apostrophe after the R when they established it as an official holiday because Mother's Day was written that way.
Okay. Keep them the same.
I know, a little bit of boring grammar to start us off, but it is random facts after all. Father's Day first proposed by a woman, of course, because mom takes care of everybody.
That's right.
A woman from Washington State named Sonora Smart Dodd wanted to create a Mother's Day for dads. And
Makes
she
sense.
did.
That's cool.
Because of her, Washington held the first Father's Day, July 19th, 1910. Didn't become official holiday until 72. Nixon was the one who officially declared it a holiday. Mother's Day has been official since 1914.
Makes sense.
What else we got here? Father's Day, typically the fourth most popular holiday for greeting cards. You could probably guess the ones in front of it, including Mother's Day,
Yeah, of course.
Valentine's Day, and Christmas, of course. The official flower of the Father's Day, any guesses?
No.
The Venus flytrap. Because dads like meat. I'm kidding. It's the rose. The red.
What?
I know. Well,
Happy Father's Day. Here's a
I
rose.
thought flytrap was a little cooler,
That's weird. That's so weird. I was going to say a tie,
Yeah,
Is there some kind of flower called a tie? Because there you go. Makes sense.
There's probably an orchid that looks like, a shirt and tie somewhere
Yeah.
out there because those things are crazy.
But no, a rose. Okay.
That's right. Red rose will signify your father's living. A white rose means he's passed. Ties,
Horrible.
speaking of ties, might date back to 221 BC, when China's first emperor, and the Terracotta Army, you've ever heard of that? When they were discovered, each sculpture was wearing a necktie, or what we thought was a necktie.
Yeah.
Only about 50% of all Father's Day cards are purchased for people's dads. Nearly 15% are purchased for husbands. Other recipients, grandfathers, sons, brothers, and uncles.
Of course.
Americans expected to spend a record $22.9 billion on Father's Day this year. More than double just about 10, 12 years ago.
Which is crazy. What are you buying?
Still less than Mother's Day when we spend an estimated
Of course.
$35.7 billion.
I'm sorry, that's just the rules,
That's a lot of flowers, roses, and brunches.
Spa stuff and I don't know what else.
I'm sure the price of massages helped jack that up too, right?
Absolutely.
And finally, dads overwhelmingly view being a parent as an important aspect of their personal identity.
Aw.
85% of fathers with children under 18 say being a parent is the most or one of the most important aspects of who they are as a person.
Of course.
Yes, being a parent would have to be number one, right? That's why we don't have kids, because I'm too damned selfish.
That's right. You're already number one, so that's not going to change.
So thank you to all the dads that are listening. Thank you for listening to us. Shout out to a couple of our friend dads, Justin JD.
Yeah, new
Dominguez,
dad.
a new dad this year. Paulie Moore. This is Paul's first or second. His son's birthday is today, today as we're recording, the 20th.
Yeah.
So, did you get Father's Day last year, Paul? Like officially?
I doubt it.
Either way, happy Father's Day.
I think it's the first one. Yeah.
Our dads, of course, Rob and
Yes.
Steve.
Of course.
Any dads that I'm not thinking of, and
all the dads.
shout out to my
all the dads.
best friend Filthy Kyle, who I know damn well doesn't listen to the pod, but he is about to be a dad for the first
That's
time
right.
in the next week or so, actually.
Wow.
So, shout out to all the dads. We love y'all, of course, to death. Without you, we would not have our dad jokes,
That is true.
which I've made my bones on.
That's
so
right.
there we go. All right, found another crazy job out there. How much do you like cheese and pizza?
Enough that I could probably be crazy to apply for one of these jobs. By the way, can I just mention, because I don't think we got a chance to talk about this, and I apologize if we did, because I forget half the time what we talk about and what we don't. But I finally did one of those, fill out an application and try to get a job doing something.
Haven't. You said you were going to. We haven't. I don't believe we've talked about you actually doing it.
I did for testing out donuts and writing about it.
Yes.
I never heard back, obviously.
Of course.
Because otherwise I'd be more ecstatic. But they were going to send me donuts. I had to taste them and write about them. And it paid like $1,000. And I'm like, you're going to ship me donuts for free. All I have to do is write something about them, and you're going to pay me and I get donuts? Like, sure, I'll fill out this application.
Yes, please.
Yeah, so I have decided that all those weird jobs that you can apply for,
You gonna give them a shot?
What the heck?
Especially if they're you don't have to move or go anywhere.
Right,
They're gonna send you.
exactly.
So how easy or hard was the application to fill out then? Because did it take 3 hours? Was it just
No.
4 questions? Was it where would you put it?
I'd put it in the middle of those two. It took me a little bit of time. I mean, it had the basic questions on there to, talk a little bit about yourself and all that. And then it had like a spot to write an essay where it's like, why would you be perfect for this job?
Oh, wow.
Which makes sense to ask something like that,
Yeah, of
because then
course.
you're going to get a little bit of my writing style and my personality in that little essay. I did feel like I was back in school, though, writing essays like that.
I haven't written an essay in quite a while.
Let me tell
Unless
you
you count
about
a
my
cover letter.
summer vacation,
Yes, perfect. Let
That's
me
what
tell
I-
you about my summer taste in donuts.
That's right.
Should have just written like a short story, a fictional, account of you living in the land of donuts or something like that. And been like, see, this is what you get.
I don't remember what I wrote, but like my first line was kind of sarcastic, and I'm like, please pick me just based on that.
Hi, I'm Naomi Lynn. I'm known for yelling at Wyatt Earp.
That's right.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, but so obviously I didn't get the job. That's a bummer. But
But either way, the application process
piece of
is
cake.
something that hasn't deterred you from doing it again.
No, it was easy enough that I was like,
That's kind of what's always
why
stopped
not?
me is I don't know if I want to sit there and do this for however long it's going to take,
Yeah.
But if it's not that hard, all right.
Well, you never know. One might be more difficult than another, so.
Well, how about the University of Wisconsin Center for Dairy Research? They're looking for descriptive sensory panelists, a fancy way of saying cheese eaters.
So I don't think I could be descriptive enough for them. I think it'd be more of like, this cheese is good. This cheese is very good.
Oh my
I
God.
like this cheese.
I mean, some are softer, some are harder, some are different, smelling. And
This one's smelly.
yeah, this one's horrible.
That's about all they get out of me, so they probably don't want me here.
So it's not a very high-paid position, but the
Oh,
job
maybe.
the job is tasting up to 24 cheese samples and 12 different pizzas a week. So, wow, where's all our Leprino folks at from
Yeah.
southeastern New Mexico? It's not the highest, like I said, paid position, $15 an hour. But they're looking for candidates who can be on hand for 3 tasting sessions every week. So this one you'd have to relocate for.
Oh, I'm not doing that.
So
Not
this
for
is-
$15 an hour.
This is
Get out of
basically
here.
for students. Like
Yeah.
it's students on campus, which I would easily do this on if I was living on campus, because when I was in college, I was writing anyway.
But do you think you could be descriptive enough with cheeses?
I think it would be excellent practice. Like I'm saying, I was writing anyway, mostly news stories and things like that. But
Yeah.
let me get into a little bit more creative writing, but it's also practice. Just writing is. What the hell am I trying to say? Practice makes perfect.
There you go.
Thank you, self, for
Yeah.
taking 5 minutes to figure that out. So you get up to $135 a week, which is great beer money for a college student,
Yeah.
just to eat cheese and pizza and provide feedback on stuff like appearance, texture, aroma, and flavor.
Stinky.
Stinky. Not stinky. Tasty. Not tasty.
I feel like that's all my descriptive words would be
That's-
cheese tasting.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
They were accepting applications through Wednesday. This is from last week. Anyone can apply, but you got to be able to tolerate a lot of dairy.
And
obviously.
move to Wisconsin.
They say previous sensory panelist experience is preferred, but they're also willing to train
Yeah.
if you're the perfect candidate.
Yeah.
University of Wisconsin Center for Dairy Research.
Somebody's got to be doing that research.
I'm telling there's a college kid out there who's getting his pizza and cheese for free and then getting $135 on top of it.
That's right.
That's a smart gig if you're if you're a college kid. It's just so stupid.
It is.
I would rather do the donuts thing.
Absolutely. Again, they were going to ship the donuts to me. Like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That
Yeah.
would have been the perfect job.
I would have been mad. You have to eat those in the other room.
Yeah, I wouldn't share.
You just set up a lab.
Listen,
go in the podcast studio and do your work.
This is for my job. I have to eat these donuts, okay? So give me about 15 minutes.
No, you can't have any.
That's right.
Lay off me. I'm starving.
Took a dark turn.
So we were talking about, it's an old Chris Farley Saturday Night Live thing that I'm sure one other person got. But we were talking about writing essays, right? Which is kind of a dying skill.
Yeah.
Just writing in general might
Yeah.
be, and things like that. Pen
My
to paper
hand
for sure.
hurts after writing, I don't know, maybe like 3 sentences because I'm not used to it. I'm used to typing. I can't write a lot anymore.
Yeah, for sure. So, how about other skills like that are going away? Because there's a thread online, I think it's on Reddit, where people are talking about pre-90s everyday skills that people used to have that we just don't have anymore. I've got a list.
Okay.
I love these lists. Developing and processing photographic film and enlarging prints in a darkroom.
Yeah.
Have you ever been in a darkroom?
No, I have not.
I got to do a little bit of that in college, which was really, really cool because otherwise I never would have experienced that.
No.
And,
now we just
you know.
hit the print button on the computer and print out a picture.
Closest you get to a darkroom now is the little flash when you take a screenshot of something and your screen goes blank really quick.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. Refolding a map correctly and maybe even using a map. Some pre-90s everyday skills that we all had that people don't have anymore.
That's a skill I don't have.
Using the Dewey Decimal System at the library.
I do remember learning how to do that.
That's probably one on the list where I'm happy. Like, good. I have nothing against Dewey.
It made sense. It worked. And I mean, you need to have a way to organize so many books. Yeah.
But the Google system is much faster.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm here for it. Writing in cursive and reading in cursive. Setting up a VCR to record a television show in advance.
Oh gosh, those days.
My dad used to do that, and my dad was so VCR savvy that he actually would program the VCR. It would record, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air on NBC, and then switch channels an hour later and record something completely different.
Yeah.
It was and if I messed that up, oh boy.
Oh, big trouble.
Yeah, I have flashbacks of accidentally changing the channel on the VCR. Why did you record Blossom? I didn't do it on purpose, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The ability to make and count change for a purchase. So somebody left a comment on this one and said the total, I was recently at a cashier, the total was $9.91. I gave her a $10 bill and a penny. And she looked at me like I handed her a live grenade.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's scary now,
It
you
is.
know?
It is. Remembering phone numbers, we're in the top 5 now.
Ooh, that one is a painful one. Every time I have to think about your phone number. Because I don't know your phone number.
Yeah, I have to
don't.
confess I don't fully know yours too.
And it's
I'm
like,
getting there after 9 years.
I'm so good with numbers, and I remember stupid things like people's zip codes all the time. I don't know why.
That's an interesting one too.
But phone numbers used to be ones that, like, when I was younger, I knew everybody's phone number by heart. I was
We all
so
did.
good with that. And now it's like, I don't know anybody's number. I second guess my own parents' phone number.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, wait, is this the right area code or is it this one? Shoot, let me look it up real quick.
And then on top of that, we all went through a period of getting cell phones and changing numbers like multiple times, which
Yeah.
is something that was unheard of before.
Yeah.
Changing your phone number. So now it's like, wait, is my mom's number still that?
Yeah.
I know she had changed at one point, or the kids had a line in it, and then I don't know who's got what line.
Yeah.
I just hit the thing that says mom.
That's
or
exactly
dad.
right.
Giving the TV a slap to fix the reception.
Oh, yeah.
What was I just smacking recently that I was trying to get to work? And I'm like, oh, my kingdom for a black and white television, just so I could smack it back into function.
I don't know.
Oh, it's killing me.
Sorry.
I read this list
I got
a little
nothing
while
for
ago.
you.
I've been trying to come up with that. And I'm like, what would it be? Anyway.
It's
yeah.
probably something stupid that slept and
Anything.
it wasn't going to help.
Radio, television, Nintendo, giving it a good smack. It used to, just kind of knock it back into whack. It was perfect. It's
Yeah.
a great system. Unknowing curly telephone wires to get all the curls facing the right way. Did you ever do that?
Yes, of course.
Absolutely. Landline phones are gone, of course. But untangling cords might still be useful, I guess, but
I
not
think so. Just not as much as before.
charge cables and stuff like that. I still have a desk phone at work.
Yeah, me too.
That sucker won't stop getting tangled up, and I barely even use it. How about wrapping textbook covers with brown paper bag? Remember
I
doing
never
that?
learned how to do that.
You never learned how to do that?
No, but my friends knew how to, so they
Oh,
would do
yeah.
it for me.
Oh, yeah. I remember you could get cool, graphics on actual book covers and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But after the fourth purchase of $1.80, my old man was always like, just get a stupid paper bag and put it on there. Draw
That's
on it.
right.
That was always
That's all
fun,
you
too.
need anyways.
Yeah, textbooks mostly online now. Also,
Yeah.
no need to wrap your laptop in a paper bag. I want to get a laptop and just wrap like the top part of it in a paper bag just
Why
for the
not?
nostalgia.
Yeah.
You know, it'd be great, and it would cover up the webcam too, which everybody likes to do nowadays.
Yeah.
There you go, some obsolete skills, basically stuff that we all used to do that we don't do anymore. And
Kind of painful.
yeah, it is a little bit. It's just time moving on is always
right.
painful as we just get very existential and crazy. Would you rather be 30% smarter or 90% more attractive?
I don't like either one of those answers.
Why not?
Or options. Because the smarter you are, the stupider you think everybody is around you, which is hard to deal with. And, you know, if you're too attractive, then no one wants anything to do with you because they think you're stuck up and too attractive.
And untouchable, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
So I saw this, and this is going to be our topic for the next week. This is our homework.
I need a whole week to think
For
about
the
which
next
one would
episode.
be my answer.
I want some good arguments too. I don't want to just be like, you know, I want to be smarter.
Yeah.
You know, I mean that's an answer, but
Why?
let's have some fun with this because you know, of course, there's good looks can only take you so far, and you know, brains are better than brawn and all of that junk, right?
Yeah.
So a poll asked a bunch of people this. Of course, that's where I got it from. It was close. 53% of people said they would rather be 90% more attractive.
I mean, that's a big percentage.
It is.
90% more attractive. Like, you are going to get a lot of stuff for free.
That's-
Plain and simple. It doesn't matter if you're ugly to begin with.
That's great. Yeah, that's
If you are
drastic.
90% more attractive, oh
You're
yeah.
gonna get a lot of stuff for free. I like that.
You are in, like, it's been proven, like, promotions at work and things like that.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
some of that stuff is based on looks, and it's not on purpose. It's just a subconscious thing that people do.
It's human nature.
Yeah, if you look creepy, people don't want to be around you, even if you can't help it. If that's just how you were born, like, that's a bummer.
Yeah.
And I hate to say it so, like, callous and just, like, I don't care, but there is truth behind that, you know?
I mean, studies have shown.
Yeah.
But anyway, so 46% of people would choose the smarter end. 30%. You can only be 30% smarter.
Yeah, which is not a lot smarter. But also, it is smarter, and you're going to be smarter than the people around you, which is tough.
But what if you're a complete dumbass? 30% more than nothing is still nothing, right?
Well, yeah.
Or is that multiplication? See, I don't know math, and we're getting into that realm now, so I gotta
So-
back off of this one.
Maybe you should take the smarter
Maybe I
option.
should take the smarter option. Some people had solid reasons for their answers, so
Okay.
like I'm already pretty smart, so I'll take the intelligence. Much better to be exceptional at one than just good in both.
Yeah.
And looks fade with age. The intelligence could last your whole life. Or I'm smart enough, but being attractive in life is like lowering the difficulty. Sort of speaking to what you're saying about
Yeah.
getting free shit all the time.
Absolutely.
And you know, I'm smart enough to know that being smarter would only make me more unhappy.
There
so
you
I'll
go.
take the looks.
Boom. That argument right there. You know, because I saw that somewhere else, whether it was a meme or whatever, but it's the smarter you are, the more unhappy you are.
Yeah.
You know, because you know what's really going on everywhere.
Yeah.
And that hurts.
Yeah.
You know, that's hurts to think about. So do you really want more of that in your life or free stuff? That's basically how I look at
You know,
that one.
I'm really on the fence on this one, so I'm going to take the week to think about it myself. I'm not sure. What if I took the brains and used that to increase my good looks? And then you wouldn't have to stop at 90%. You get 100% better. Learn how to do plastic surgery on yourself.
That's weird.
That's insane. I know.
Yeah,
That's
that took
really
a weird
far
turn.
end. So
and
don't
do you
go
think,
that far.
Do you think making yourself 30% smarter than what you are right now would make you smart enough to be able to do plastic surgery on yourself?
Yup.
You really think that? Wow. Maybe you should take that,
That
getting
30
smarter.
That
yeah.
30% would all be wasted on learning math
That's right.
from 2 plus 2 all the way through.
Yep.
So, all right. I don't know. But that is your homework for this week. 30% smarter or 90% more attractive. Which one would you rather be and why?
Yeah. You have to include the why or you get no points.
That's right.
Follow homework rules.
Follow
Show your work.
Yes. Show your... Oh, my God. No, don't say that. That was one of my most loathed phrases the last thing I ever wanted to hear in school because, again, hate math. But still.
Show your work.
I guess.
You have to answer why. Use complete sentences.
just
I
don't
don't
wanna
know.
use that
We were
phrase.
just talking about writing essays for things.
Ew, it's not an essay. You can
It's
give us a
not. No, you-
5-word answer. That's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Now I'm just terrified of the whole thing.
I know. This was the worst homework assignment we've ever given because we gave too many rules with it.
Math and English. So
That's right.
30% smarter or 90% more attractive. And a quick why, please.
Yes.
If you would. If you would, so please.
If you don't put the why, again, you don't get any points.
Oh, man. All right, so that's going to bring us to, we kind of did this one backwards to our answers from last week.
Yeah.
We only had a couple brave souls who wanted to share their senior pranks.
Also, we put it on hiatus for 2 weeks, so that.
Well, I did post the thing about the tongs. So everybody remember you got to click your tongs to activate them or your grill blows up. You can see the meme on Luke and Naomi on Air's Facebook page. Check that out if you haven't seen that yet. Also, we wanted to know if people like the idea of the green chili ice cream.
Oh, yeah.
To which the overwhelming majority said hell yes.
Of course.
That overwhelming majority also lives in or has lived in southeastern New Mexico. But it did look delicious. Snowman actually made some and shared the pictures. So if you haven't seen what green chili ice cream might look like, check out the pictures Snowman put up there. You did put them on the actual post, right, Snowman? I'm pretty sure he did.
Now you gotta go look for them in real time.
If he didn't, he should. But I'm pretty sure he did. I'm clicking on it. It's not going. Now I don't want to leave the page, actually, though, because I got to read these things. But
Yeah, you're gonna break some.
check it out anyway. Green chili ice cream. Also, let us know if you think it's a good sounding idea or not.
It's what I want right now.
Green chili. I think I'd rather have the red chili. I like the roastiness.
I'll have both.
That'd be fun.
Both in the
Christmas.
same ice cream scoops.
Let's do Christmas.
Yeah.
All right, let's see here. So Brando sent us his senior prank
Okay.
around the time of last episode. It was senior prank season.
It was.
Now it's full on summer.
That's right. Tomorrow.
Brando says when he was in high school, they had a fish trophy between the rival towns. They would play football over, right? He says you can even look it up because it's out there if you want to get an idea of what it is. But his senior year, they won the fish. So for a senior prank, being the intelligent human beings we were at 17, his words, not mine, he said thought it would be a great idea to go catch a bunch of fish and put them in the air vents at the school. He says we didn't realize how fast the smell would spread, and the prank actually had the school evacuating
Oh my gosh.
for sanitization and stuff like that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Now, really, intelligent human beings, why didn't you do this to the rival school?
Right.
I mean, if you're going to get in all that trouble, make it worthwhile and do it to the rival school.
Oh my gosh.
I'm thinking of my rival school right now growing up and how much I would have loved doing that to the opponents. Anyway, he said him and some other friends got suspended and detention and then had to do their fair share of cleaning
Of course.
when they got back from said suspensions and detentions and all of that stuff.
Fish.
Damn, man. That's a horrible
Smelly.
idea. Way to go, Brando. Also,
That's a great answer.
wouldn't expect that from him, but good on you.
No.
Good on you. Snowman says, class of 97, put a huge for sale sign on the side of the 2-story building. He says it was pretty lame. Only about a dozen people were in on it, but it's still funny as hell.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
That was one of the stories from this year. A bunch of kids listed their school on Zillow
Yeah.
for sale.
Well, that was better than the kids mixing concrete in the toilets or whatever
That's
they
just
were
so
doing.
stupid.
Yeah.
And Dallas says his class didn't do one, but this year his son and his friends got one of the janitors to let them in the school at 4:30 in the morning. They saran wrapped everything in the office, desks,
Oh, nice.
chairs, and computers. Then they turned desks and everything else in their favorite teacher's classroom upside down and filled the common area with 1,000 balloons.
Oh, wow.
That's how you senior prank right there.
Yeah.
Because, you're not destroying anything.
I like the idea with just like filling up a room with balloons.
Me too.
That would be so cool, so much fun.
'Cause it's still
Why
like-
not?
I can't get to or do anything in this room, but it's like, hey, there's a lot
It's
of balloons. That's
balloons,
gonna do it. Yeah.
Are you gonna
1,000
get
balloons.
mad about balloons? Get out of here.
And then you get the fun of trying to, get some earplugs and go pop in the balloons.
Yeah, why not?
Just go get some forks and just go nuts. I like
Yeah.
that one. Dallas, that's a great answer.
It was, yeah, definitely.
All right, thanks to all three of them for sharing those. I knew we weren't going to get a ton of senior pranks because
That and
I feel like it's a dying breed,
I don't remember my school doing a senior prank.
I never
Like-
found out.
Not in the not even like when I was a freshman, where like, oh, the seniors did this and like all the way up. Like, I don't remember any senior pranks. Now, that doesn't mean that there wasn't any. There was just not any notable ones,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, and I think pranks like that, again, we've lost the art of pranking. We just get destructive at this point.
Yeah.
So it's a dying art, like you were talking about earlier, about like writing in cursive and all that. Pranking
Yes.
is a dying art.
Harmless pranking.
There we go. Yeah,
that.
we should probably put harmless in there.
All right. So that's the answers for this week. We already gave you the homework. 30% smarter or 90% more attractive, and why, without writing an essay.
No, you don't have to write an essay.
And that's going to bring us on to the fun part, or the second fun part.
Yeah.
The second half. How
The
about that?
still more fun part?
Just the second half of the show.
Yeah.
We'll get into our review here of Short Circuit. I haven't watched Short Circuit in a good 10, 15 years at least. It was one of my favorites as a kid because it was so much fun, and it was a quick and easy watch, and it was always on like USA or something like that. So I was happy that we got to Short Circuit. Naomi wanted a fun one.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? Short Circuit's on the list. That's pretty fun. And it was free on whatever streaming we had.
Well,
so
get
that
bonus
helped.
points for that one.
That
yeah.
helped too. By the way, Brian also recommended Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves with Kevin Costner. Have you seen that?
No.
Okay, that's a good one. We can put that on the list too, I think.
Okay.
So all right, without further ado, here we go. It's Naomi's Under a Rock review of Short Circuit, and the music this time very fitting for such a goofy ass movie as Short Circuit, right?
Absolutely.
So all right, take it away.
Okay, so first of all, let me disclaimer here. Normally, we watch a movie, I take my notes during the movie, and then we record the next day. I took my notes like 2 weeks ago.
I was wondering if that was going to affect us at all.
It is going to, because, you know, you forget some things and all that. So I wanted to read over my notes before I started this, and I didn't. So here we go. All right.
Studying together.
That's right. Short Circuit. All right. So there's more than one robot. That was my first surprise of the whole thing.
That's fantastic.
I thought it was going to be, you know, they built this
Just
robot and it short circuits.
Because they,
you know?
they start the movie, if you didn't go ahead and watch Short Circuit before you listen to the podcast, they start the movie with the demonstration of the, you know, the war robots that the guys made.
And there's a whole bunch of them, you know, and they're shooting and blowing up tanks
There's
and
5
vehicles and all of that. So my idea is the story's got to be based on one that gets away from the military training. So I don't know anything about this movie. I really have no idea where it's going except for that it's about a robot. So just looking at these robots and computers that are being used to control them, this NOVA conference. Yep. All I could think was, man, we've come a long way.
How many, there must have been 14 monitors. Just monitors.
And the monitors were huge.
Yeah.
Like,
And
the backs on these things.
The old black and green and the big, heavy, huge pixels and...
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Hey, Dad, what's this connected to the back of the TV? The rest of the TV.
That's right.
Yes, that's all I could think about. Basically, everything just...
Very 80s.
Yeah. And then the robots themselves, like, they seem prehistoric. And I feel like...
That is a really cool choice of words.
But doesn't it?
It does. That is... Yeah.
Like, they just were so primitive, you know? And then now it's like everything's all sleek and our robots are really coming to life.
Think of your
and all
favorite
that.
movie ever, I, Robot.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
the comparison between both the movies and the premises are there. But then you look at the robots and how they've aged. It's like,
Yeah.
yeesh.
But, like, in the movie, they just look like metal junk, you know, that's been put together, odds and ends, built a frame, house this artificial mind. All right, so pretty neat. They show Crosby, the guy who's, created the programming for these robots.
Steve Gutenberg. Naomi's
That's
first introduction
him.
to
Okay.
Steve Gutenberg.
Yeah, Crosby. They show him basically programming this robot arm to play music. That's how we get introduced to him, which was pretty cool. They're asking him to meet with the senator, whoever, to approve this big project, and he makes the robot flick the guy off that was asking him to meet with the senator, because he doesn't like doing that PR stuff. You know, he's here for the robots and the math and
the
science
yeah.
behind everything. All right, so now they're showing off these new robots. They can be the next weapon in the military. And one is still plugged into the generator. All right, so we know something's going to happen here because, and guess what? You know, there's a thunderstorm. And they're warning them, hey, you better unplug that or whatever they say. So, you know, something's going to happen here. So, of course, lightning strikes it and it becomes self-aware or whatever. Not very bright, though, because it's driving into walls. It gets pushed, like, into the trash. Obviously, it's got a lot of learning to do.
Yeah, it's learning how to walk.
Yeah, basically. Steer and all of that.
It was just porn.
So all the other robots are, like, mingling and showing off at this military event. They've got, like, food. They're basically, like, the waiters and waitresses and the entertainment.
Remind me a lot of droids from Star Wars, stuff like that.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Now word has gotten out that one of the robots is missing. You know, the one that can't steer right and is now in the trash. So they send out the security and a bunch of people to go look for this robot. Ends up flying off a bridge, pulls its own parachute, lands on some girl's food truck, the Snack Shack.
The Snack Shack.
Yeah.
The worst snack shack ever, by the way.
I know. It's all like vegan food and, you know.
She's got like the things written on the side where you would have, you know, tacos, French fries.
Nachos.
And hers says something like avocados, tomatoes, apples.
Don't ruin the avocados, but, you know.
Green
yeah. It was a little bummer. Because when I think food truck, give me some like fried dough, you know?
Burgers, street tacos,
just
everything,
dirty food.
Everything,
absolutely.
But what was written on the side of her truck.
Yes, so it wasn't really a snack shack, but that's what she was calling it. Anyways, he lands on the truck, but she's driving it, and she pulls it into her house that has a million animals, cats and possums climbing all over the kitchen and all that. It's just kind of a weird
and
scene
then
there.
Do you remember getting all mad because she was cooking dinner? Is
Oh,
that
yeah.
part of your notes? Did I jump ahead?
I don't know. I don't think I put that in there, but yes, I was very upset because she was cooking food, and like the animals are in the food, like they're sniffing around. You know how much hair had to be in that kitchen? That's disgusting.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care. I love animals. I'm here for pets and all of that kind of stuff, but they don't belong on the counter while you're cooking with their nose in your spaghetti sauce.
Yes.
Get out of here.
Agreed.
Yeah. Plus, like,
I just had to poke that nerve a little bit and see if you remembered.
yeah, I do remember that. I have that image burned in my head because why?
It's just a terrible 80s kitchen, but, you know, an 80s kitchen because it's from the 50s
Yeah.
and all of that. Yeah,
And it's updated by having more junk in it.
that's right.
Basically. All right. So now the man who created all these robots, Crosby, and his friend, take one of the robots
Ben.
and his friend is Ben. Okay. I don't think I
Yes.
ever write down his friend's name.
The Indian dude. I
Yeah.
loved that guy. Oh, man, the first time I heard his accent, I am standing here beside myself.
Yeah.
I loved every time he spoke.
Yeah. He would not say sayings right. He'd get sayings wrong,
Yes, absolutely butcher phrases.
which was awesome to hear. But also, he says a lot of really inappropriate things
Very
for
much.
a PG movie. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, a couple of them are very dirty. Like,
Yes.
whoa, dude, that's kind of gross.
Like, no wonder we're all messed up right now. Okay,
who the
this
hell
makes
wrote
sense.
this dialogue?
Yeah, some of it's a little intense.
It gets a little blue.
Okay, so we've got the man who created the robots, Crosby, and his friend Ben. They take one of the robots and they're going to go out and try to find this self-aware one, number 5. So at this point, we know who number 5 is.
That's right.
So now Stephanie, that's the lady with all the cats and the bunnies and the possums and the snack shack and
Ally
all of
Sheedy.
that stuff. She discovers number 5 in her food truck, and she's convinced it's an alien, so she's all excited. Number 5 keeps asking for input, so she just keeps giving it like all this random info. This is a house, here's a plant, here's some bunnies, all that, and it was like very intense scene, and like music is playing in the background the whole time, which was like just too much. It was like sensory overload.
It was.
It really was. So then he starts, number 5, starts reading every book in her house and just keeps yelling for more input. So she parks him in front of the TV where he watches garbage all night. And then in the morning, she can't get him away from the TV. And he's actually really demanding. Like, he would just, I don't know, he would just say more input, and was like getting like vicious
Aggressive.
about it. Yeah. Like, I would get so sick of it. I'd be like,
Like
listen,
a lot
get
of
out of my
kids
house.
in the 80s. Just give me the TV and food. Let's go.
Yeah. more, you know? Gosh. I was getting so irritated by number 5. There was a handful of times where I'm like, I would just, nope, done. Where's your battery pack? I'm taking this out. See ya. All right. So now she's mad because she found out that he's a robot and not an alien. So she's all bummed about that.
Yeah, it's a perfectly normal thing to get pissed about, you know?
Yeah, you know. So she calls the Nova headquarters and tells them that she's got the robot.
Smooth.
Yeah, you know, real smooth move there. She does a lot of dumb things throughout this whole movie.
For sure.
And there's a few times where I'm like, you're just an idiot. At this point, I'm just done with you. I got mad at this movie a lot, to be honest with you. I really did. Anyways, all right, for a robot, he's pretty dumb.
Naomi's smash it with the rock reviews. That's what we should call.
They do have their moments, don't they? All right, so for a robot, he's pretty dumb. I understand that he's learning and all that, but he just read like every single book in this girl's house, and she had a lot of books, you know? Again, it's the 80s. Yes, so he should be a little bit smarter than he actually is. So he ended up squishing a grasshopper, and he wants Stephanie to fix it. And she's trying to explain to it that it's dead, and he can't seem to grasp that concept, which, you know, something tells me that's going to come into play later. My next note says, well, I guess it wasn't later, because it's like basically the next thought.
No, disassemble.
Exactly. He finds out that they want to disassemble him.
Stephanie, no, disassemble.
Oh, my gosh. Some of that was just so annoying.
Number 5 is alive.
Oh my gosh, just no. All right. So, anyways, he finds out that they want to disassemble him. And now he realizes that disassemble means death.
No, disassemble.
And if they do that to him, he's going to die. So number 5 basically freaks out. He steals the food truck. Stephanie jumps on the back of it, climbs inside, is basically yelling at him and trying to teach the robot how to drive at the same time. Like, she's freaking out at him, but also trying to teach him how to drive. I'd be like, listen, move over. Let me make sure we don't die first, and we can discuss this afterwards.
He's a terrible driver, too.
Oh, he's so bad. And he never gets better at that, by the way.
He does a little bit, right?
No, he does not get better.
Okay.
I will fight that cause. I will bring that back up at the end of this review.
We'll have to check and see how he does by the second movie.
There's a second one?
Hell yeah, there's a second one.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I am not watching the
They
second one.
take on New York City.
You're joking, right?
Not at all.
Oh gosh, why does every 80s movie need to take on New York City?
You know, yeah. Even Jason Voorhees took Manhattan at some point.
Oh my gosh. So anyways, let's get back to the movie, okay? The robot can't drive. They stop at a pier. Number 5 says he's alive. That's when that happens. You know, whatever.
Whatever. The whole main part of the movie. The whole point.
It's just kind of, well, I don't know. It's just dated now.
Yeah,
it's very dated for this robot to say, you know, number 5 is alive.
I did not murder him. Like Sonny from iRobot.
Yeah, but just different.
Primitive.
Exactly.
Prehistoric. I love it. Prehistoric is great.
So Nova scientists show up and they think she's a nutcase, which she kind of is a little bit.
Oh yeah, she is.
But then they see the robot listen to her, and they realize that something more is going on. Because I don't remember what she says, but she tells number 5 to do something or not to do something, and he listens, and they're like, oh shoot, like they're communicating without a keyboard, basically.
Yeah.
You know. So anyways, they shut down number 5's power and they take him away, but somehow he has backup power.
He can control himself. So he's
okay.
able to turn his power back on and all
Okay,
that stuff.
okay.
Yeah.
I was wondering how that worked, or had enough power to at least move a little bit. That went over my
It'd
head.
be like,
I had no idea.
if somebody gave you some, sleeping pills or something like that, you could still wake up from anesthesia or some junk like
Yeah.
that. I guess that's the closest analogy I could come up with.
Anyway, he gets himself working again. He's in the back of the truck. They're taking him in. They're taking him away. He takes over the truck, kicks the scientist and the security guy that was with him out, throws his tracking device into the back of a random pickup truck that he passes, which, by the way,
Was genius.
yes, but security stops a little while later, and they have the road blocked off and pointed guns at this truck, the truck that he threw the security chip in, or the tracking device, whatever. It's this older, innocent-looking couple, and
Oh,
the
yes.
woman turns to the man and says, "I hope you took the grass out of the glove compartment." Like, the 80s were wild, you know?
Yeah, man.
What?
80s movies were insane.
This is PG.
PG. Between that and Mr. Ben's.
And they looked so sweet and innocent. Hope you took the grass out of the glove compartment. Jeez.
Oh my
I was not expecting that. All right. Anyways, so now number 5 finds his way back to Stephanie's house. She's in the tub. He calls her attractive, which is really weird.
It's an odd scene, but you got to remember the time period when this movie. Yeah, I know. I'm going to make an excuse for it. I'm not. Naomi's looking at me through the squintiest eyes, like, what the hell are you about to say? This was also around the time of Howard the Duck,
Okay.
where an alien duck came to Earth and ended by getting the girl.
That's just weird.
Yeah. So the 80s, they just were just like, hey, you know what? Just go with it, man.
Just,
Cocaine.
it's a robot. And grass and glove compartments,
Yeah.
you know? It was just...
Yeah, it was a very weird scene. I remember going, I don't know if she's going to want to watch the rest of this movie.
Right? She's in the tub. He calls her attractive. That's weird. But she lets him stay for the night because why not?
Well,
you know?
he was nice.
That got really weird again. The robot is dancing with her, and then they're like falling in love. You get this lovey-dovey vibe from it. It's
Yeah, it
not
was odd.
innocent dancing.
Where are you guys going with this? Like,
Yeah.
that's kind of what the whole thought is. It was uncomfortable. Even
Yeah.
I knew it was coming. I was still like, what the hell?
Yeah, a little uncomfortable of a scene there. My next note is, and she's an idiot. And that's because her ex-boyfriend or whoever came by, she was actually smart in the end of this scene, but she does some dumb things. And when she's like fighting him, she still opens the door for this guy. She
Yeah.
did it before. Like when we first meet her ex-boyfriend, he's like, I don't remember what he was doing, trying to get the dog off the roof.
He was trying to steal one of the dogs to take him somewhere.
Yeah, but she's just like, stay away from me, and then opens the door and basically holds it open for him to get into her house. Like, I know that's not what happened, but you really get that vibe that it's, no, stay away from me, but come on in anyways.
Yeah.
You know. All right, so anyways, and that's, I went into details with that, but every time the guy comes around, she doesn't try very hard to keep him out of her house. So he's back around because there's a $25,000 reward for the robot. So she locks him out, but he knows that there's a spare key, so he gets in, and she doesn't really, like, fight him off. She's like, you can't come in here. I don't know what you're talking about, blah, 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 as she's, like, not stopping him from coming in. This is all happening. They're yelling, all that, and the robot has made her breakfast because this movie has gotten a little creepy.
Yeah, because, dancing and twirling last night, breakfast this morning. That doesn't imply anything at all in the United States of America.
No. Anyway, the guy explains to the robot, hey, I'm going to take you back to Nova. And number 5 hears this and basically freaks out, pushes the guy away.
No, disassemble.
Goes outside, and he disassembles his car.
Oh, yeah.
See what happens there.
It's a sweet car, too.
Not anymore. So he's
parts.
all mad. The guy's like shooting at the robot and all of that. But of course, the robot's dodging all the bullets and basically just chases this guy off. So Stephanie decides to meet with Crosby in a secure location to talk about number 5. Her and Crosby go into this inn to talk while number 5 is out back. Then we get this epic robot fight.
Yeah.
Epic for 80s kids movie.
The robot, the voices of the non-alive robots. Great robot voices, by the way.
They were very robotic.
They were very robotic,
Yeah.
very evil robot.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So number 5, he basically ties up, taunts, and powers off the other robots. And it's filled with like quick one-liners and like goofy impressions throughout. Like it's
From
not,
all the TV he's been watching, yeah.
It's not bad, but it's definitely cheesy. And I don't know what makes it more cheesy, the fact that it's an 80s movie or the fact that it's a kids movie. And this made me realize the whole, there's a lot of swearing and weird vibes coming from this PG rated movie.
Yeah, the ratings thing was a lot different in that. And I will always go back to the Goonies, which right around the same few year window,
Yeah.
where that they were shooting at children with guns.
Yeah. You don't see that in movies anymore.
You do not. You do
No.
not. The 80s was definitely...
The 80s were wild. I stand by that
a hell of a decade.
description. All right, so now we've got the Army, Nova, whatever. They're coming for number 5. Crosby and Stephanie are out of the truck. So they all get in the truck. Stephanie and Crosby are out of the truck. Number 5 is in the back of the truck. And he goes flying out the back of the truck, and then they're shooting at him and all of that, and they basically blow him to smithereens.
Smithereens.
Yeah, just gone. And it was kind of sad because, number 5 was alive and all of that.
It's a life.
They're screaming it and kind of freaking out, and they're like, basically, hey, you don't know what you just destroyed. But then we find out that he's not dead. Number 5 is a little bit smarter. Apparently, all that knowledge, all those books are starting to sink in
There you
a
go.
little bit.
Yeah, the comprehension has kicked in.
Yeah, so he was hiding in like the bottom or the back of the vehicle, whatever. He created his own decoy from parts in the back of the vehicle, and then basically pushed that fake robot out and let that thing blow up, basically. So it does have a happy ending, Yay, they're all together, and they're gonna apparently all live on a farm in Montana because the guy mentions randomly, well, I've got 40 acres.
I forgot all about that.
In Montana.
That's how it ended.
Oh, okay. So we're all just gonna just drive up there right now. All right. And speaking of driving up there, that's how we know Short Circuit did not get better at driving, because the end scene,
Short
that number 5,
Johnny 5. Damn it.
that truck was all over these mountainous roads, just crossing the line back and forth.
Yeah.
They're letting the robot drive, and he cannot drive. They are not making it to Montana. Like, he did not get better at driving.
Oh,
I rest my
that's
case.
Awesome. I forgot all about that. How do we end this movie? I don't know. Just have them go to a farm in Montana and live out the rest of their days peacefully.
And that's exactly what they do.
That is...
Actually, again, they don't make it to
Perfect.
Montana because they let the robot drive, and he can't stay in his own lane.
Well, they somehow end up in New York for the sequel.
I cannot believe that you were not messing with me about that.
Oh, we're watching Short Circuit too. Whether we actually review it or not,
I don't know if I can.
I'm
because...
going to make you watch Short Circuit too. Everybody, back me up on this, please. She has to see the second one now because it's so much worse.
Oh my gosh.
But it's so much better too. I don't know. It can't possibly be better. But there's a second one.
I can't believe that there's a second one. I was staring at Luke's face to see if like he was smiling in the corners, to see if he was messing with me, and I really did not know. And then when you said they went to New York, I'm like, he's got to be messing with me now. Oh, no, you're completely serious. Okay.
Short
all right.
Circuit 2. Johnny 5 takes New York.
What were they thinking? Is it made by the same people? Did somebody else take
oh,
this
yeah.
over?
Steve
Oh.
Gutenberg and Ben and Ali Sheedy and everybody comes back. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah, perfect.
Oh, man.
All right. Does that one have a happy ending too? I'm sure it
I
does.
imagine.
Yeah.
I don't know if they head back to Montana or what. I think maybe Johnny 5 gets married or something like that.
That would make sense. And a whole bunch of little robot children running around.
That's right, because, that absolutely makes sense.
Yeah.
Twirling and dancing and breakfast in the
Breakfast.
morning. All right. Well done. Liked the review. It's fun to listen to you. Just, I mean, when you like them, you like them, when you may not like them, you still sound like you like them. It's fun to hear when you just make fun of the 80s movies, honestly. That's a lot of fun. That's why we had to sprinkle another one in there.
80s is low-hanging fruit because, again, the 80s were wild. Like,
Wild.
yeah.
So, all right, our review questions, as usual. Thank you for watching Short Circuit and taking the time to review it for us. I
Yes,
appreciate it.
and thank you for everyone listening to those notes. Because, again, I didn't get a chance to review my notes. I like to at least read through them once and go, oh, yeah, this part. Oh, yeah, that's what happened there. And just kind of refresh my memory. And I didn't do that. So that was a shot in the dark.
Yeah, well, I think well done anyway.
Well, thank you. I'm glad it worked out.
As we started, you could tell the movie, was kicking back in, like the memories
Oh,
were
yeah,
popping back up.
absolutely.
So our review questions, as usual, after the Under a Rock reviews. Did you like it?
Yeah. Yeah, it was all right.
I mean, you see why as a kid I was like, if it was on, I'm watching the hell out of it.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's robots and, there's some action involved and all of that.
Yeah.
It's a cute little story.
What did you know about Short Circuit before you watched it?
It had to deal with a robot. Apparently more than one, though,
That's a
Surprise.
That's a great note. I love that. That's, again, why I like doing these reviews so much, because your
'cause
thoughts, no matter what, like, it's interesting to hear.
Again, it really is under a rock. I don't know a lot about 90% of the movies that we have watched. There's been a few where it's like, I know this joke is from this movie.
You get the
I know,
shinings and stuff like that. Yeah.
Or I know like the basic premise of this
Ghostbusters,
movie.
stuff like that.
But there's a lot that I'm like, oh gosh, like I had no idea this has anything to do with this movie.
Like Braveheart, you didn't know stuff, was based on
yeah.
some sort of historical
Right.
fact, I guess.
It wasn't just a story.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. All right, so you didn't... I asked Naomi if... she asked me. That's how that went out. As the movie was, the credits were rolling and all that, she says, is there anybody in this movie that I would recognize? I said, yeah, Steve Guttenberg. She goes, I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
And then I had to, really shake her to get her to realize who Ali Sheedy is as well.
I don't remember.
She's all over... she's in the Breakfast Club. She's the...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay, yeah.
Would you call her goth if it's in the 80s? But anyway, Ali Sheedy.
Yeah, I would.
So very, very little.
Weirdo, I think I'd call her.
Naomi knew going in.
Yeah.
Your thoughts going into Short Circuit?
This is gonna be a cute kids movie.
Okay. What surprised you?
How much they swore and talked about grass. I'm just kidding. They only mentioned grass once, but that was shocking. No, I mean some of the things that Crosby's friend Ben said were
some
surprising.
of the innuendo was like, whoa.
Oh gosh.
Jesus.
Like I don't think you can get away with saying that in like PG-13 right now.
No.
Like that is
Maybe,
I don't think
but
you
no.
can get away with saying a lot of that stuff anymore. So that was shocking. I don't know, maybe how much I disliked some of the characters. Like Stephanie just drove me up the wall more times than I could like her. And even number 5, like I was like, dude, get it together. Stop being so demanding. Like you're relying on other people. You can't be that demanding. I don't know.
He's the basis for Sheldon Cooper from The Big Bang Theory. How about
that?
Would you have liked this movie more or less if you saw it when you were younger, 10 to 12?
Oh, I would have loved it 10 to 12.
Yeah?
It would have been like the coolest movie.
Awesome.
The only thing that would make it better at that age is if it was animated,
All right, I could see that.
Animated. It's cartoon movies, why not?
What was your favorite part?
What was my favorite part of the movie?
The grass in the glove box?
That's up there. Probably the twist at the end where he doesn't blow up. Like that they got me. I really thought that he had died and, it's sad.
Naomi's going, oh, thank God they killed the AI.
But I mean, they were all sad because he was living and all of that, and where it's like, ta-da, I'm here. It was like, oh, all right. Look at you go.
Let's
Look
go
at
to
you
Montana.
learn. Yeah. And then New York.
New York. Oh, my goodness.
So, yeah, I think I like that. That was a good surprise.
I'm interested. I want to let this one breathe for a second.
Okay.
Your next question is, what was your least favorite part? So I just want to give everybody a chance to kind of think about the whole review and try to You got 5 seconds to guess what you think Naomi's least favorite part of this movie is.
I think you know.
Hit us with it.
When she's in the tub.
Yeah, that was just bleeping weird. I watching that is so cringe.
It is.
Why wasn't Steve Guttenberg there at least at that point and start the romantical involvement with that?
I don't know.
It's just like, hey, we can't figure out how to write the male lead into this scene. Screw it, just use the robot.
Oh, yeah. Like, you
Okay.
didn't need, like, that kind of, oh, gosh.
Unnecessary, absolutely.
Unnecessary.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Would you
Definitely the worst.
recommend this to someone else who hasn't seen it?
Of course.
Short Circuit, you gotta watch it. Would you watch it again?
Probably not.
Would you watch the second one instead of watching the first one again?
Only if I'm forced to,
Only
I think.
if I'm forced to. Would you just stop and watch Short Circuit if it's on TV?
No, I don't think so.
No?
No.
Are you happy you watched it?
Of course.
Of course.
Yeah.
All right, that was fun. That was a fun one. I thought it would be a fun movie to review. Probably more fun to review than it was to actually watch it, honestly.
It was definitely like an interesting movie. Again, the storyline behind it is cute and all of that. I can see it being a kid's movie and kids enjoying it and everything. But again, it hasn't aged the best. Let's
Yeah,
just
definitely not.
Say that between, what's said in the movie and all that, but even like the robots and
The technology,
Yeah.
all that. Because, I mean,
that, you know what? I want to know like a kid's review, like somebody who's like 13 or something, watch Short Circuit and then tell me what you think of that movie, just
the
out
kid
of
would probably
curiosity.
go, why the hell is the robot calling her attractive in the tub? But yeah, so.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh my gosh. And then like just being like, the hell is wrong with these robots? Why are they so clunky?
Yeah.
What's are they sick? What's going on?
Prehistoric.
Yep.
Built by
Prehistoric.
dinosaurs.
Yep.
Nailed it. All right. Nice job on the review of Short Circuit. Naomi's Under a Rock review of
That's right.
Short Circuit. Not sure what we got for next episode, but we do have that list, and it is ever growing because we just added Robin Hood, A Prince of Thieves.
Yes.
A Prince of Thieves? No, it's just Prince of Thieves.
Okay. And Police Academy.
And Police Academy. I don't want to watch Police Academy.
Why? Isn't it
I don't-
funny?
We should
I'm
watch
here
Police.
for funny
we
movies.
absolutely should watch Police Academy, if not just for, of course I'm blanking on his name. Sound effects guy.
Oh, okay, yeah. I know who you're talking about, but I don't know what his name
Oh,
is.
There's like 7 people just screaming at me right now,
Mm-hmm.
and I cannot believe that I cannot remember his name.
I don't know. You should have looked it up. You had like 30 seconds. Now you're out of time.
Oh,
I don't
it's
know.
right there.
I'll let you think about it while I get the thought of the day together.
A couple of people are just going to start. I'm going to get random texts when whoever's listening, whenever, and go, it's.
Did you think that was going to work?
I really did.
No,
I
it
really
didn't.
did.
Again, you've got some time to think about it while we get to thought of the day.
Thought of the day, thought of the day. It's your thought of the day, thought of the day.
All right, I got this thought of the day.
Michael Winslow.
together.
Boom!
See, we just needed to distract you for a second. So I got this thought of the day together before I knew like the stories and stuff we were going to talk about, which is really cool because we were talking about like skills and things that you had in the 80s and 90s that are
Obsolete, basically.
Yeah. So I feel like this isn't exactly like that, but it lines up pretty well. Paper cuts will become increasingly less common in the future
Wow.
because they will.
Yikes.
They already have become less common.
They have.
Yeah.
Wow. I got to be careful now using this book of dad jokes.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
You might get a paper cut.
Yikes. Wow, that is definitely a trip.
All right. Luke, you going to leave us with a laugh?
Yes. Carefully handling the book of dad jokes, the 100 greatest dad jokes of all time, assembled by Victor Jr. Thank you to Brian in England for sending it over.
Mm-hmm.
Are you ready?
I think so.
I think my wife has been putting super glue on my antique weapon collection. She denies it, but I'm sticking to my guns.
That's stupid. Oh my gosh, that is terrible.
How about this one? If 2 vegans get in a fight, is it still considered a beef?
That one's stupid, but it's a good question.
It's a thinker.
It is.
If a
I
vegan
don't think so.
if a vegan does CrossFit, what does he talk about first?
No, that is a good one there. I think the CrossFit. To be honest with you, I think they're CrossFit.
Most likely.
Yeah,
And be like, I got to go home and eat extra because I'm a vegan.
that's right. More lettuce.
Extra kale. All right. Good one.
I'm exhausted after that.
I know. I like the whole short circuit review. That was great. I love doing these movies because of the crazy stuff that has changed in the world that we talk. You know, why did the robot hit on the woman?
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't.
But that was definitely a good one. Not sure what we're going to do next week. We might stick with comedies. We might go back to some dramas. We'll have some fun.
I have no idea.
We've got a couple of action movies on the list to get to as well. I think like Untouchables is on there. And,
Okay.
phew. We've
I
got to
don't
just
know.
talk the list all day long. Don't forget, send us suggestions if there's something that you haven't seen. I mean,
Is there something you want me to ruin?
yes, is there something you want Naomi
Your
to
favorite
ruin?
childhood movie that you'd like me to tear to pieces?
You know, we could move into that. Just change the name and everything. Naomi ruins your childhood.
No, we are not doing that.
I don't know. People might, more people might listen just out of morbid curiosity.
Oh my
Like, how's she gonna do
gosh.
this? And then we get hate mail.
Oh man, I can see it already.
Any publicity, right?
That's right.
Oh, man.
Gotta get those ratings up, you know?
Yeah. So send us the suggestions. Any suggestions? We'll decide if she's seen them. Then we're not gonna watch them, of course. You know,
Yeah.
if there's something that we think everybody has seen, that's mostly what we're looking for.
Right, right.
Which you can hit us with those, of course. Luke and Naomi on air, anywhere on the
Anywhere,
page. Once you're
yeah.
on the page, just find somewhere to comment because we get the notifications. But
That's right.
eventually, I'll put up a post that we'll leave up there that'll be for that. But I'm not gonna. I'm just
No, we know you.
someday
Someday won't come.
it'll be right before the last episode,
Yeah.
right before the last movie we've ever watched.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, stay tuned for episode 50
50.
in 3 weeks.
No, we have to do next week because then we're gonna be off the following week because it's 4th of July.
Oh wow!
So we'll definitely be here next week.
Talk about poor timing.
I know we suck at this.
And we are still working on a new feature that may or may not involve food and booze. Okay, it does involve food and booze.
Yes, it does.
But we're working on some new stuff, some new
That's
wrinkles
right.
to add to make the podcast even longer.
That's right. You hated it when it was 45 minutes. We'll show you. Here's 5 hours of content.
I mean, you know, we
Drive
used to
around
do
in
3
circles.
straight hours. So
I know.
Drive
Daily.
around in circles. Yes. We'll get you to work. We'll get you to lunch. We'll get you home from work for 3 weeks straight on one episode.
That's right.
All right. Thank you all
Wrap
for
this up, by the way.
thank you all for coming back for episode 49 after we took a little bit of a hiatus there for the anniversary. We love you all to death. Thank you so much for sticking with us
Yes,
through
thank you.
all of this. Don't forget 30% smarter or 90% more attractive and why on the Facebook page, Luke and Naomi on air, on all of the podcast channels. Tell your friends, please. Have some fun this week and be excellent to each other.
Love you. Bye.